Yeah, we've got to that point where we will be talking about the UEFA Champions League. It's interesting at this stage, round of 16. But let me start before we talk about the big one. Obviously, the big one. Everybody's talking about Chelsea, Barcelona. But let's start with Bayern and the Turkish side, Besiktas. And that's it on your screen. Tomorrow's fixtures: Bayern Munich taking on Besiktas, Chelsea taking on Barcelona. The players from Barcelona, I think they've learned their lessons from the slow start they had and how they got their hands bumped with PSG. But then again, you want to say, it's Besiktas. Why should you be worried? You hear players like Mats Hummels saying, look, forget about beautiful football. And when you hear players from Bayern saying that, you're like, we're talking of Besiktas here. We're not talking of Real Madrid.
For some reasons, Bayern Munich haven't been, and I know they're running away with the German Bundesliga, but Bayern Munich are not that side that easily strike a fear into a team like Besiktas anymore. They used to do that a few years ago. But when you talk about the fact that Arjen Robben at the wrong side of 30, Frank Ribery at the wrong side of 30, Arturo Vidal not really firing, I mean, there's not that genuine motivation in that Bayern Munich side to go against teams. And Besiktas, you look at this side, they were top of their group in the group stages, and they look a side that they can play without that handbrake. They can play with a lot of confidence. If they go in there and lose against Bayern Munich, nobody's going to criticize them. And I'm always afraid of teams who play without pressure. And when you play against teams who play without pressure, they can be very tricky. And Bayern Munich have got to be very wary, because when they take you back to Istanbul and they've got a fighting chance from the first leg, if they lose 2-1 or 1-0 and they've got a fighting chance, can be very unnerving going to Istanbul.
Yeah, and a lot of people have, what some say comes against this Bayern team is pace. A lot of the players that you expect a lot of innovation and invention from, age has slowed them down. Yeah. You talk about Ribery and Robben, and they're not really, the younger ones are not getting the chance to play. Still, these guys that are playing. So, is the issue of pace a real worry?
It's a real worry, but I've seen Robben play recently, and he's lost a yard of pace or two, but he's still frightening, but not that stirring pace anymore to be able to sprint past people in a flash and that change of pace and all of that. And Ribery too used to be very frightening. But they do not quite frighten people like they used to frighten people 2 years ago. And it's a big deal, because as you go on at 34, you're 33, 34, it's not the same thing anymore. And I've heard talks in the German media, Robben might not be offered a new contract at the end of the season. His contract comes to an end at the end of the season. So I don't think there's a real motivation on the side of Bayern Munich, but I feel there's still a quality side, because when you mention Robben and mention Ribery and mention Robert Lewandowski, who I still remain is the best number 9 in Europe, they can frighten any team because of the sheer quality in players. But I just feel that the momentum is not there. That bit of excitement that you see with the Bayern side. But if they go against the Besiktas side and try to be very exciting, play expressive football and all that, it might be difficult. But trust Jupp Heynckes, he might be going very direct. He might go into that game and think, we've got to be very direct. We've got to ping those balls down to Lewandowski. Let him bring those balls down, and let's see what we can get. Let's not try to play to the gallery. You play to the gallery against a team like Besiktas, you might be in for a shocker.
All right, let's listen to Bayern Munich defender Mats Hummels, what he has to say ahead of that crucial game. We'll take a listen and come back for more on Sports Tonight.
There's still so much to improve if we want to win the Champions League. So tomorrow can be the next step. But of course, if we play again like it in that game, it will be hard for us to win anything.
That was Mats Hummels, and just saying it the way it is. Have to avoid a bad start. Don't be so. Don't think too much about playing attractive football, and
and don't be eager to score a goal, because in games like this, sometimes you just need to be patient. Because Besiktas are the away side. They can come in and say, the manager will say, well, the away side, you cannot just go out there and start getting desperate and trying to score a goal quite early. So we'll sit back, allow them have the ball, let them pass. The Bayern Munich is passing football side, so they're going to pass the ball. So allow them pass, allow them hold the ball, just sit in your half, let them come at you, block spaces, don't give them any bit of room in the final third. Let them break us down. If they have to score, they've got to break us down. And against teams like that, to be able to get the ball through the eye of the needle and pass it, and it's quite very difficult. So sometimes you've got to be patient. Don't get in a hurry, because with the pace of Ryan Babel and a few of the Besiktas players, they can hit you on the counter, score one, and close off shop. So Bayern have got to be very wary. You cannot get so desperate. Just play your normal game, be patient, and let's see what happens.
All right, let's talk about the big one, arguably the best game of this round. Talking about Chelsea and Barcelona. As good as the Catalan Giants are, Chelsea's a bogey team.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will tell you they've never beaten a complete Chelsea side.
Yeah. I just feel
someone has to get a red card for Barcelona.
And you know, this week Tommy Ovrebo, the Swedish referee who officiated in the 2009 semi-final, has come out and said, you know, he made errors and all of that. But I have never seen a team quite unnerve Barcelona like Chelsea does. I mean, you talk about the fact that Mourinho has done it before, Andres Villas, but no, it was the other Italian, Roberto Di Matteo.
Even the Dutch manager as well.
Yeah. So I feel if Antonio Conte sets up very well, then Barcelona will be in for a big deal.
All right.